Hey, thanks so much for finding the video. Do us a favor. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe. And be sure to leave your comment. We love to interact. Enjoy the video. Drew Brees had a spirited press conference earlier today, and we'll let you hear some of what Drew Brees had to say. Coming off an embarrassing loss on the road Monday Night Football against the Raiders, Sean Payton wouldn't even let his team get on the plane Tuesday morning to fly back to New Orleans until they watched the game film. He made them watch the game film in Las Vegas before he allowed them on the plane to fly home. I would be floored if you did not see a more spirited effort from New Orleans this week against Green Bay. I'm not telling you definitively that means the Saints are going to win the game, but the Saints at home under Peyton, primetime games in the Dome have been darn near unbeatable. Now, a big part of that obviously has been the fact that you've had a full Superdome with 70,000 inebriated Louisianians who have had all day to drink and lather up and get ready to be their loud, boisterous selves and make that a dominant home field advantage for New Orleans. That won't necessarily be the case on Sunday, but the Saints are still favored in this game by a field goal with Green Bay coming in. But what was really interesting is there's been so much talk over the last, let's call it 48 hours, about Drew Brees being done. Is Drew Brees finished? And I've heard some people even try foolishly to explain away his Super Bowl appearance. However, and win. However, what's really interesting is that Drew Brees is going to be facing another quarterback that is a first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the greatest ever to do it, that also has just one Super Bowl win in Aaron Rodgers. And Drew Brees was asked about that today, about Brees and Rodgers being examples of just how hard it is to do that.
I mean, maybe so. You know, we've each been to one and we've each won one, right? So, and we've had probably some heartbreaking moments in the playoffs. You know, both teams. But you know, regardless, listen, you know, each season is a new season, and each team is a new team, and you're going to face your fair share of challenges. Obviously, they've had a ton of success, just like we have. Lots of playoffs appearances, lots of playoff wins, and again, you know, just those challenges that we've all faced in order to try to get to the ultimate prize.
That was a very measured answer, but if you look at the NFL's all-time passing leaders, this is a great illustration of just how hard it is to do what guys like, impossible to do what guys like Tom Brady have done, but Drew Brees is the NFL's all-time passing leader. Been to one Super Bowl, won it. Tom Brady is 2, as we know. He's been to 9. He's won 6 of them. Peyton Manning is 3. He went to 4 Super Bowls, won 2 of them. And the second one really was not on his shoulders. Brett Favre, 1 Super Bowl win. Dan Marino, none. Phillip Rivers, none. Ben Roethlisberger's got 2. One of them was, though, in his second year, right, in 2005. When it wasn't really Big Ben as the catalyst of that offense. Eli Manning is the 8th leading passer in the NFL's history. He's got his 2 Super Bowls. 9 is Matt Ryan, been to a Super Bowl, hasn't won it. And then 10 is John Elway, who got 2 in his last 2 years in the NFL. Warren Moon with none, and then 12th, Aaron Rodgers with his 1. So, point being, you go down the list of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the NFL, and it's really difficult to get to and win a Super Bowl, let alone win multiple Super Bowls. It's a little bit of preaching to the choir, I think we understand, but this is a great illustration of that. Now, a couple of other things. Brees was asked, and this is where he had to where he was asked to be self-critical. He was asked how he feels about his game right now.
I feel good. I feel good. Borderline great. And I'd say, you know, again, you know, my job is to move the football, get first downs, possess the ball, score points, right? And so however we can do that, we're going to do it. You know, one of the statistics that was thrown out after the game was, you know, the yards per attempt or something like that. I mean, there are many statistics I do not pay one bit of attention to, and that would be one of them.
To all the pro football focused nerds, there you go. And listen, I've talked about that a ton. What he's referring to is air yards. It's how far in the air the ball travels before it's caught. My feeling on stats like that, there's validity to it, but it's canceled out when you think about the Breeze's air yards. The first 2 games the lowest since Brett Favre in 2009. Well, Brett Favre in 2009 had his team in overtime with a chance to go to the Super Bowl. So you can clearly win with that regardless of what it is. Brett Favre was also turning around, handing the ball off to Adrian Peterson, and the Saints have a dynamic back themselves in Alvin Kamara. How do they make it all work? And they're a really good defense that year as well in Minnesota. We understand. The Saints have the talent. They have the pieces in place, and I understand where Drew Brees is coming from. He also talked about getting past these early hiccups that they've had in this offense so far.
No, I mean, listen, you have to work at it. You absolutely have to work at it. And we've got some new faces. We've got some young guys in some key areas. I'd say especially offensively. Obviously with the loss of Mike Thomas last week, we're having to fit some guys into some new roles, get some guys some significant playing time, maybe in different situations that they haven't been in before. And so I think there definitely is that element of just, getting everybody same page, everybody in sync. And, I'm confident with the guys that we have and with the system that we have and everything that we're going to be able to get back on track.
He talked about getting on the same page with new guys. The one that's gotten the most attention, of course, is Emmanuel Sanders because he came in with a lot of fanfare. We talked a lot on this show about Brees going out to Colorado to work with Emmanuel Sanders. That's where he kind of got synced up with Benny Fowler, and Brees advocated for Fowler to come. It seemed like that relationship started so well. And also when you look at how easily Sanders transitioned from Denver to San Francisco a year ago and just hit the ground running once he made that transition to the Bay Area, there was a lot of assumption that he would do the same here in New Orleans, and it just hasn't happened so far through 2 weeks. So how does Brees and Sanders get on the same page?
Well, honestly, I don't feel like there have been a ton of opportunities. We've called some down the field shots. Like, for example, we called 2 in that game that were designed to go to him down the field. Unfortunately, the coverage didn't really dictate that, didn't really allow that. There was a couple other opportunities that, for whatever reason, I didn't have the time to get it to him, or there was a breakdown elsewhere that didn't allow it. So that's happened a time or two. But I'm very confident in him and his ability and his role in this offense, and those opportunities will come.
This would be a great opportunity to see it this weekend with Green Bay coming in. One more from Drew Brees. He talked about dealing with the criticism that he and this team have dealt with so far early in the season.
Well, listen, that's the nature of our business. Even after you have really good games or really good performances, it's always on to the next opponent. There's always another challenge right around the corner. Week in and week out, you really have to put together your best efforts in order to win in this league. It's tough to win. You have to execute at a very high level. And listen, we're used to doing that. Obviously there's those moments, there's those games that you have where obviously it's not clicking, or for whatever reason, you walked away from it saying, we can be much better than that, and you just get back to work and you put together a game plan that everybody feels very confident with, and then you go into the next game, feeling like, we've done everything we can to put ourselves in the best position to succeed.
Drew Brees, as the Saints get ready to host Green Bay on Sunday Night Football. Quick turnaround after the Monday night loss to the Raiders, but a get-right spot against a team that arguably is as hot as any in the NFL through 2 weeks. Similar to a year ago, coming off the disappointing loss in Los Angeles where Brees was injured. The Saints had to go on the road to Seattle. They ended up scoring a big 33-27 win over the Seahawks. That sort of set the wheels in motion, that 5-0 run under Teddy Bridgewater. Good opportunity for the Saints and Drew Brees to do something similar again this weekend with Green Bay coming in. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.